In this video, we're going to go over the repair process to replace the fuse on a STACYC.
All right, now go ahead and remove the battery. And the first step will be to take a 4mm Allen and loosen up and remove the bolts holding on the footrest. Once you've got both those bolts out, go ahead and tap it forward and the footrest will slide forward and off. Now you'll grab a Phillips screw and remove the 7 Phillips screws that hold the side panels together. You'll notice if you have an older bike, they have T10 Torx screws instead of the Phillips style on this bike. Now once you've got all 7 screws loose, go ahead and split the side panels apart, but be careful not to drop any of the screws on the ground. Next, you will remove the battery connector. Pay close attention to how that was installed, as when you go to put it back together, there is some locating features there.
Now the first step will be to remove the rubber edge trim. This will give you a little bit more clearance to pull the fuse block out. The fuse is located on the positive power lead about 4 inches down from the connection to the motor. Once you've got it fished out, go ahead and verify if the fuse is blown or not by visually inspecting it. If it does need to be replaced, go ahead and replace it with a 40 amp fuse. If you use lower rated fuse, it will fail quicker. If you use a higher rated fuse, it could cause issues with the motor. Now once you've got the fuse back into the block, go ahead and let it settle into the down tube in front of the motor. You want to make sure that it's not touching the motor, as the motor will get really hot and could cause the fuse to fail externally. Once you've got it back into position, go ahead and replace the rubber edge trim onto the frame. This will ensure that the electrical harness will not chafe on the frame and puncture through the insulation on the wires.
To reinstall the side panels, go ahead and start with the left-hand side and notice the locating features on the side panel that will help the ESC sit securely in there. Once you've got that in position, go ahead and switch your attention to the battery connector and get the locating features lined up and in place. And then you're going to grab the right-hand side panel and apply that to the bike. Now you want to get down low and make sure that the battery connector comes together seamlessly on the bottom. And I always start with the bottom screw to ensure that those connectors don't have any problems down the road, that part is secure. So go ahead and check it for spacing right along those lines. Make sure that it is secure. And now you can move along to the other 6 screws. Pay close attention. 6 screws are a little bit longer and those go into the side panels. The last screw will have a washer on it and will be a little bit shorter. This piece is to connect the side panel with the chain guard by the rear wheel. The last step will be to reinstall the footrest. Go ahead and slide the footrest on. You may need to tap it to get the holes to line up. Once the holes line up, go ahead and throw the bolts through and tighten them down.